Hello guys, welcome to the stream. Just going to do a quick audio test. Hello guys, welcome to the stream. We're here in London Gatwick on the Vatsim network, ready for a flight down to Leipzig. So, in fact, I've only just spotted this is actually a flight UK directly next to us. That's kind of nice, isn't it? At the moment they're saying they're only A321, although on Vatspy at least they haven't filed a flight plan yet, so I don't know how it knows that. Cool. So, actually, they might have connected as an A321. Anyway, here we are inside the lovely Zebo 737. Now, in terms of what's set up today, the flight plan has been a bit of a pain, actually. Turns out the arrivals into Leipzig are a little bit of a pain to deal with, and yep. And also, it's planned a very low cruising altitude for us because of wind, I think. I don't know. I was planning my route with the Star, with the arrival, and it was saying that I should be at 37,000. Although saying that, taking another look at the winds, it does seem like 30,000 will provide us with better winds. So, hey, but we're going to get on with this flight anyway. So we're not doing a Star into Leipzig because the only Star that is there is essentially just a massive holding pattern around the airfield. It basically takes us from our starting waypoint all the way past the airport and back again. And the start and the waypoint where we end our route is literally right by a perfect place to start the ILS. So there's no reason really to do a Star today. You know, I guess they maybe use it when it gets busy in Leipzig. I don't know. Maybe we'll let ATC figure that out if we have any ATC by the time we get down there. But anyway, we're here on the ground in Gatwick, and ground is online. Nobody else is online, though, sadly. So we won't be getting much ATC today, but it's something, which is nice. You know, don't always get ATC on Vatsim at this time of day, particularly over in the US. You never get any at this time of day. But in the UK and Europe, you do occasionally get something. I mean, if we were going down to Spain or France today, we would also have Eurocontrol West. It's just today we're flying to Germany, so we don't have that because they're not, you know, I think it's Eurocontrol Maastricht that cover that area, and they're not online. So, never mind. It doesn't really matter. It's all about the flying. So, you know, let's get into this flight then. So we're actually taking one of the new SIDs, I believe. Out of, actually it isn't, is it? Actually, yeah, it is. The Frame 1 mic. So this used to be I think it was a Clacton departure. This used to be. I can't quite remember, but it got changed. So that's cool. You know, they had a couple of updates and whatever. Now, we're here in the Zebo, and I'm looking forward to flying it, really. I like the Zebo. I think it's a really cool little plane. I don't think there's any way to make those lights up there brighter. I'm on the latest patch of the Zebo. I don't think there's any way to make those brighter, sadly. Are there any lights we can turn on that make it a bit brighter? Not that one. No, not that one either. Okay, it's that one actually. It's that one there. So we'll light it up a bit, just so I can see it a tiny bit more. Cool. Alright, I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and get the plane prepped, I guess. So let's go into the FMC first of all, down position in it, and it's going to be, you know what, before that we'll just put the IRSs, we'll go up here and make sure that everything's set up first. So, okay, hang a minute, why are the IRSs already in nav, but they're, oh, they are aligned, hang a minute, has my cold and dark state failed? Looks like it, because the fuel pumps are on. Okay, we won't be doing a cold and dark start then. That's a weird one. Okay, I'm positive I had set up a cold and dark for this aircraft. Alright, I'll do that when we land then. When we land, I will save a cold and dark state. I'm pretty sure I already had saved one, but it often bugs out with the Z-bot, I found. It doesn't load in the state that you want it to. I have no idea why, but it does it sometimes, where it just doesn't load in cold and dark. It loads in kind of a weird turnaround state. Well, we'll deal with what we got. Packs can come off for now, and the fuel pumps have switched off. Window heats on, trim air can go on, and we'll just leave that like this now. It's a bit of a shame we don't get to align the IRSs or do much more with that, but it doesn't matter. Let's get on with actually loading the aircraft then. So start flight leg and go to payload, and today in terms of fuel we are looking for 6,700 kilograms, so that's good. And payload, we're looking for a payload of, so initially we just put in the payload, so 16,400, so 16.4, and then if that means that our zero fuel weight is too high, I'll put it down. So you can see they're loading on the payload. We're looking for a zero fuel weight of 58.0, and you can see we're too heavy, so down to 15.1 on the payload.
8 with information alpha.
There.
Is a Boeing 747-800 Aerocast IFR clearance as filed to Helsinki.
Okay, good. Cool, right, we'll just grab the Gatwick 80s quickly. We are looking at information Bravo, QNH 1017. Cool, so everything's all loaded on board now, and, wait, that says 15.2. Alright, 14.9 then. Maybe I hadn't finished loading the payload. Right, so there, 58.0, that's now correct. So I can go back to this page now. I'm going to go on to ground services and set chocks. Actually, we're going to remove them because we're using a parking brake. If I don't use the parking brake, the ground crew back there doesn't work. Go ahead and open all these doors because I hadn't had them open. You know, have them open, why not? May as well. And everything else is all good. Cruising altitude, we're cruising today at 310. So we'll set that now.
Good morning, Gatwick 20, understand 112, requesting clearance, departure, Albia.
And we're going down to EDDP, which is Leipzig.
You're able to accept the
Flight number today is Skyways UKV 494. Cool.
Yeah, you're clear to block, no one expects.
Performance in it, we have to wait, I think, for the payload to finish loading on board before we can put that in. So fuel, call fuel truck, and that will start loading the fuel. Right, we'll request clearance now then. So we have information, so we're at stand 131. We are a 737-800, and we have information Bravo. So we'll go ahead and let the controller know of all those things now, once he's finished talking to that other guy.
Okay, so clear to book 1 for departure, and then 612 for the route. The squawk for us is 4453, is it 140?
Yep, just confirm that's Ogna Lima 612 to Benbow, Bender's files, and QNH 1017.
Yeah, Buckner, 1 X-ray, must...
Right, we're just waiting now for the gap in the ground frequency so we can talk, and then we should be good. Gatwick ground, good morning. Skyways 494, stand 131 with information Bravo, aircraft type 737-800. Request IFR clearance to Leipzig, please.
Skyways 494, Gatwick ground, good morning. Clear to Leipzig, frame 1 Mike departure. Squawk 4747. Yep, Bravo is current to QNH 1017.
Cleared from Leipzig on the frame 1 Mike departure, squawk 4747 and 1017 on the QNH, Skyways 494.
Skyways 494,
Okay, set the score 4747. We've got our clearance. It is using the Frame 1 mic as we expected, so that's all good. Alright, let's go ahead and get everything punched into here. The fuel is still being loaded, so we can't set any of that up. So we'll do the route now. So we want to go to route, and there you go. We'll do the departure. There you go. 08. We're departing today off 26 left. Frame 1 mic. And it's going to be from Frame M604. And we're taking that to Gasba. And M197 to Redver. Right, direct to Thatcher. And then it's direct to Nauta. Which one is that? Let's have a little look. Nauta, North 5152, so that's the top one. From Nauta, it is direct to Admors. And it is T959er to Kojak. And that's it. Normally then, we'd be jumping on a start, but I deleted that because it's a ridiculous start that literally takes you past the airfield, do a return, and then come back to the airfield. If they were landing on the 2.6s, I would use the start because it does give you quite a good job. Because in real life, they literally just give you vectors in Leipzig anyway, after the start. So you may as well just take vectors before the start. Because otherwise, there's no point basically in having a star. All it does is add about 10 minutes of flying to our route, and it doesn't actually get us anywhere, so there's no point having it. So unless obviously ATC, I think in real life they probably use it for congestion. It puts you in almost like a holding pattern for the airfield. It's probably quite a good way to distance planes. So we're going to be doing the ILS-08 right, no transition, and we'll be doing it direct from our last waypoint. And it actually fits in, if we look on our plan, it actually fits in really well. You can see from our last waypoint, it's almost like they planned this. From our last waypoint, we literally go basically perfectly onto that that glide slope there. You see, no, not the glide, the localizer, the little white dot. We want to be intercepting that at quite a nice angle. So it's pretty perfect to have no star today. It's a bit unusual, but it's the easier way and it's the quicker way. And it's also the best way for getting intercepted on the ILS as well. Now, the Frame 1 mic does actually have quite a few restrictions on it. The SID we're taking out of Gatwick today. 4,000 will be our initial climb. And then it'll be up to 5,000 until Detling. And then it'll be 6,000 until Frame. And then we'll be free to climb. So, and there's no ATC in the area to give us a shortcut. So, oh well. And everything's basically ready to go now. So all we need to do is just, well, basically wait for the fuel to be loaded. And it is loaded, meaning we can get all our stuff in. The reserves today, reserve fuel, are 1.4 and 1.0, so 2.4 on the reserves. Cost index today is 26, and we're cruising at flight level 310. A bit low because there are some better winds down there. There's no problem with that though. So yeah, that's in there. Cruise winds are 222 at 061. Also, I'll put this on progress page there. So get that in there. And ICE deviation is -5. So execute that. That's in there. The flight's all planned now and ready to go. So that's cool. N1 limit, we're going to do a D rate of 1 on both here today. And flaps 5 for departure. Get that in there. Okay, it doesn't want to know. It doesn't want to put in the CG weight. That's a bit unusual. It usually does that. Maybe it's because I've updated the. That's weird. How do I know my CG then? That's quite weird. It's not doing it. Maybe they have to. Maybe I have to shut the doors. I'll check back later. Because until we know that, I can't get my trim value. It's a bit weird that the aircraft wouldn't tell you. It usually does. Maybe it's because I've updated the Zebo. Maybe it's a bug. I mean, I've done 2 patches on the Zebo since I last flown it, so maybe there's been a few changes. Because I was going to go into performance takeoff, but it seems like that doesn't tell you your CG weight either. you have to put that in yourself. So I don't know what's going on there. Can I check the payload page? Is it on there? I'll have a look. Payload. Oh, there you go. I assume it wants my 0 fuel weight centre of gravity. So that is 25.5. Put that in there. And that gives us a trim value of 5, which is set by default. Excellent. Okay, we are ready to go then. All I need to do now is start the APU. And we'll be good. And we'll turn on that fuel pump there to get power to the APU. Elect gens, come on. Everything else, oh yeah, the engine bleeds can come off. We should have turned it off before. Then when I park this aircraft up in Leipzig, I'm going to do it cold and dark and then save it, so that hopefully it'll load in cold and dark, this aircraft, in future. It should have loaded in cold and dark today. I don't know why it didn't, but that does happen with the Zebo sometimes, and I can't really work out why. It seems to be almost random. I'm going to plug in, better pushback, and start pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where
We
you
will
want to go.
more than likely be pushing back here. I'm pretty
Ground
sure
to
we could
cockpit.
move the
Code
pushback
is driving
anyway,
up.
if there is an issue. Oh, there's a little game freeze there. And go ahead and turn on all the fuel pumps now, because the APU is basically finished, firing up. Everything else is ready to go. The Pro Peats we don't turn on until just after pushback. So, we're all ready to go. We're all connected on Vatsim, everything's all good. And no more ATC after ground, sadly. There you go, APU power is online. Meaning we can disconnect now all of the doors and everything like that. So ground services, GPU disconnect. And we're going to go ahead and go to... it's not ground... Yeah, it is ground services. I didn't think it was. Right, close all the doors. And then to make the airplane know that we're about to depart, the cabin crew back there will flick on the beacon,
all doors
and
and
that
hatches are
triggers
closed, ready to
the
connect.
aircraft systems to the aircraft's flight crew to think that we're departing. And then what we'll do, we'll turn off our parking brake and turn it on again, and that will get rid of the ground crew.
Departure. So we'll be 0502 QNH1017.
Clear on the front 1 Mike departure, QNH 1017, squad 0572, scanning 141.
Scan Canadian 141, be back correct.
Golf Oscar Tango, India is ready for taxi.
Just waiting now for the gap in
So
ATC.
connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Alpha, Lima, Quebec, Juliet, hold short of Papa.
Taxi, Quebec Alpha, Lima, Quebec, Juliet, and hold short of Papa, go to India.
Gatwick ground, Skyways 4904, ready for push and start.
Skyways 494, stand 1 true will, push start approved, face east.
Push and start approved, face east, Skyways 4904. Yep, we're good. We've been given the correct distance, so we can go ahead and push back straight away,
Starting pushback,
which
and
will
you
the
may
controller
start
will like,
engines.
because we can do an immediate pushback.
Alpha,
And
Sierra.
back we go then. Everything's all good up there. So, let's go ahead and get engine 2. I don't actually know which the engine you're supposed to start first. We'll just do that one. Hopefully the engines will start. They actually won't, because I haven't turned on the APU bleed yet. I always forget that part. Why do I always forget the APU bleed? I never understand. Right, that's all good now, I think, the pressure. So we can go ahead and put the engines over to ground, and it is starting now. I always forget one little bit of the engine start procedure on the 7.3. I always mess one thing up. Although, if it's the bleed system or something, it's easily fixable. Anyway, back we go. Then, and introduce fuel on engine number 2. Into the engine starting nicely. I love the sounds on the Zebo 737. I think it has amazing sounds. And it should, there you go. Again, they're pushing us back now. I think we should start the turn pretty soon. No? Yes, now we are. Good. And engine 2 is started. That can go into continuous, and we'll go ahead and get engine 1 started up. We'll go ahead and put the TCAS on there. We're on Vatsim, so you turn on a bit earlier. Weather can turn on, although the weather radar doesn't really work in the Zebo that much, I don't think. Actually, can we put it on alt? I think we can put it on alt off. So it will still report where we are, but it won't tell us our altitude. Won't tell other people our altitude, so I won't flash up on their TCAS. That's what I'll do. Also, I've been really thinking about whether to hide the thing in the Zebo, the seats.
Operation
It's difficult to
complete.
go.
Set
Right,
parking
Pro
brake.
Pete's on. Let's go ahead and set the parking brake. I didn't
Disconnecting
introduce fuel on one of the
code, stand by.
engines. That's a bit silly, yeah. So one of the engines didn't fully starting there because I forgot to introduce fuel on it because I was busy turning off the Pro Pete's and stuff. So we'll let that start up and then we'll do everything. The hydraulics are already fired up, so we can go ahead and go. I think that's flaps 5 there. That might be actually that might be flaps 10. I think that's 5. What I've just set then. Right, disconnect, and we can go over to continuous on the other engine. And we're on engine power, so the APU can be turned off. Engine bleeds on, APU bleed off, and packs can go into auto. That is everything all sorted and ready then.
Apologies for that. Lima, Papa,
So is
Alpha,
disconnected
November,
and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
There we go, that is better pushback then, telling us have a good flight, and they finished pushing us. And I only set flaps 2, typical. There you go. I wasn't sure which one I'd set then. There we go, flaps are now set for takeoff. Do a quick recall check, everything's all good. So we can request taxi. Gatwick ground, Skyways 494, ready for taxi.
Skyways 494, taxi, hold short of Papa. After the Boeing 747-800 passes left to right, taxi via Papa, Alpha November, hold point Alpha 3.
Taxi hold short, Papa, give way to approaching 747, then Papa, Alpha November, hold short, Alpha 3, Skyways 494. Okay, VNAV doesn't want to work straight away, probably because I haven't got both flight directors on. There we go. And go ahead and release parking brakes, and we need to move, and then what we're going to do then is we'll hold for a 747 that should be passing left to right on Papa, which is where we're approaching now. So we'll just hold short. That's it there. That's the 74. By the looks of it, it's going to Helsinki. 747 going to Helsinki. It's they're using the Microsoft Flight Sim 747. That's crazy. They put it in their remarks saying they're unable to change the route. I don't know why they've loaded in a Fly UK livery. It must be the only 747 livery I had available. Because obviously they're just a random call sign. They haven't given an airline.
Zulu Mike, Montana Golf 122, just make that nice flight.
So we'll just sit here now and wait
Thanks so much for your
for
service.
74. We've given it plenty of room because obviously it has quite a large wingspan. Taxi light can come on. I'm happy with everything else. We'll just leave that. Cool, everything's looking good up the top, so we just need to wait. Wait for the 747 to pass, and then we'll go down Papa, and then Alpha November, and then Alpha 3. So we'll probably have to wait quite a while before we can take off if that 747 is going ahead of us, because they're obviously a heavy aircraft. They probably have quite a bit of wing, like wake turbulence. Now they're taking the Frame 1 X-ray. I guess that's the only one that's available in Microsoft Flight Sim, maybe. But we're good now, so they've passed, and we can continue going now. I love the sounds of the Zebo 737. There's a lot of vehicles out on the taxiway in Gatwick. I always find that. Luckily, you can't hit them, because if I had to wait for them, I'd be waiting for ages. Maybe I should turn them off. I don't know. I doubt they impact the game performance that much in terms of FPS, but they do kind of get in the way, don't they? So maybe it'd be a good idea to turn them off. At least when, I don't know, it's only a bigger airport, really. I think Gatwick's probably the only one I've ever noticed them a lot. Right, this is Papa. Alpha November is this one here, off to the left. Looks like that 74 is also taking Alpha 3. It's weird, they used to route me via Alpha 2, like pretty much always.
Go India. No further ATC, so Montana Golf 122, just make that nice flight.
So yeah, over to
Well,
Unicom now.
Unicom on 122, that's alright. Thank you very much for the service of Tango India.
So we'll be handed off to Unicom pretty soon now. And that'll probably be it for ATC today, sadly. But, doesn't matter. Put us into 10 nautical mile range, just so I... Actually, no, we'll keep it on 5. I'll put it up to 10 once we're actually lined up with the runway. So I can leave an appropriate gap with the 747 ahead.
Skyways 494, no further ATC, monitor Unicom 122, decimate, have a nice flight.
Unicom 122.8, Skyways 4904. Thanks for ATC today. Bye. Alright, over to Unicom. And we will just hold behind this 7-4. Nothing is on approach to Gatwick at the moment, so we're okay on that. The EasyJet is going now, so I think that 7-4 is going to line up. We will give it a bit of time though.
They're lining up and waiting on 26 left.
We're going to go ahead and fire up the TCAS now fully, just so we can see if any planes are approaching. And we'll get all the runway config done now, so we'll go ahead and turn on the line lights, runway turn-offs can come on, taxi lights can come off, and then we'll just sit here, we'll park up to Alpha 1, we'll go as far as, because that means that we're a bit close to the runway to line up. I don't know why they gave you Alpha 3, like Alpha 3 is a holding point, means you basically have to be like, sideways, because it's basically just after a turn. I don't know why they don't give Alpha 1 as the holding point. I think so they can route traffic from Alpha 2 or something. Which is also truck taxi that's used. Right. And parking brakes on. We'll wait for that aircraft to depart. It's going to be... Obviously, it won't need to leave too much of a gap because it's a heavy and that EasyJet isn't. But we'll have to leave quite a gap to it because it's... I think it's about 5 miles, I believe. For a medium aircraft following a heavy aircraft, I think it's about 5 miles. Because it is also taking the same frame departure as us, although they are on Microsoft Flight Sim, so they'll probably have some pretty unusual acceleration, I would expect, probably slightly quicker than usual, from experience flying the 7-4. I haven't really flown the 7-4 properly, but it affects all the planes. So, and the EasyJet ahead isn't taking the frame departure, it's using a Bogner departure, so that won't get in the way of the 7-4 ahead. And there's nothing approaching Gatwick, as I said earlier, so we should be all fine. Just wait for that guy to depart now. It's taking a while. I think the EasyJet should have gone by now. Obviously, the EasyJet's on a different departure, so it... Yeah, I'm pretty sure the EasyJet is no problem anymore. I wonder if they'll stick to altitude constraints.
India taking off 26 now.
Oh, there you go, they're going now. So they're off. As soon as they start rolling, we'll go ahead and say we're lining up. Gatwick traffic, Skyways 494, line up and wait, 26 left. And then we'll leave about 2 minutes to them. So what we'll do, I think we can start a clock for 2 minutes, or we can just give them about... We'll wait until they're in the turn actually, from frame. No, like on the departure, on the right turn, because they're doing exactly the same departure as us, pretty much. Well, I think they've got the old one. They've got the one X-ray rather than the one mic, so there's a slight difference. But there you go, you can see there it is climbing out. We'll wait until it's... We'll put it in 10 nautical mile range, and then we'll wait until it's started that turn at least before we depart. Obviously, it's a big 747, so we don't want to be in its way, really. You can see there we are, ready to go, ready to depart. Yeah, the seat in the Zebra always gets in the way, but I found even when you delete it, the seat still gets in the way of the camera, unfortunately. So it doesn't actually do much getting rid of it. I don't know. I just wish they'd do it like the Flight Factor, where the seat moves back with the camera. I guess it's harder to code, maybe. Right, that's gone. It's not 5 miles out yet, though, so we'll still wait. So I want to be careful. It's a big 747. We don't want to get in its way.
Golf Oscar Papa Tango, India passing 2,000 feet and on the Frank 1 Mike departure.
Oh, they are taking the 1 mic. That's weird. So their flight plan says 1 X-ray, but I guess they are doing the 1 mic then. We'll just wait for it to be at least 2,000 feet above. You can see we can still see it over there, so I'm not going to go just yet. I'll wait until it's finished its turn, maybe about 2,500 feet, something like that. And see, there it is turning. There it is over there. Into the cloud, I suspect. I mean, what is the cloud doing here? At the moment, we've got... Oh, there's actually a bit of a crosswind on departure. We'll watch that. And nothing about... yeah, clouds and visibility are okay, according to the meta. Right, I think we'll go now, because it's off our TCAS, and it's way over there. Gatwick traffic, Skyways 4904, taking off 26 left, frame 1 mic departure. Alright, let's go. And take off. And we'll start the clock as well.
80 knots.
It's 80 knots. V1 rotate. Bit of crosswind, bit difficult to deal with. Right, positive rate, gear up. And there we are. We'll just give it a bit more of a climb now.
400.
There's 400 feet, so we have VNAV. I would like to see more out the window in this aircraft. So the seating position I don't massively like in this aircraft, but there's not
1,000.
a lot you can do about it. There's 1,000 feet. Climbing. Right, so when my turn-off's off, engine start switches into the off position. And then we'll start to pitch the nose down now. Lock the gear. Order brakes to off. Go flaps 2. We've got a maximum of 220 knots here during the turn. So there's that. And we'll go flaps 1. And flaps up. And then we'll start the right turn then. And then we'll go ahead and turn on the autopilot now, because we're just going to be holding it at 4,000 pretty much now. So you can see 1,000 feet to go. I now need to go ahead and idle my throttle so that the auto throttle takes over. There we go. Because that's the only way to get the auto throttle to engage in the Zebra, otherwise it doesn't really engage. It just stays on manual throttle. And there we go. We're going to hold at 4,000 now until Detling 29. I think this thing should actually stick with restrictions now. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is get this all the way up to 31,000, which is our cruise altitude. Again, I don't actually know if the I don't know if the 747 is going to stick to these restrictions, but I am. Even if it does add a bit of time to our route. Because at the moment we're obviously stuck at 220 knots. We will be up to 250 shortly. There we go. Nicely. Climbing out of Gatwick, and we're basically stuck at 4,000 now for a bit, sadly, but until Detling 29 we're stuck at that. I do like the Zebra though, lovely aircraft I think. It's one of the best aircraft in X-Plane, and the thing is, it's free. You know, that's what I love about the Zebra. I think if all flight sims had this, it would be amazing. I mean, obviously Microsoft Flight Sim kind of has the fly-by-wire A320neo, but that still isn't at the same level just yet. Also, I've discovered Leipzig's pretty busy. There's a plane that's just left Tallinn, It's currently about 6,000 feet, but it's 630 miles away. We're only 500, so we'll probably be there quite a bit before it. Although it's going to be spending longer above 10,000 feet than us, because I'm stuck here doing this. Although after Detling 31, we will actually be cleared up to 250 knots, which we are now. So that's good. Right, so we'll do the after takeoff checklist. So air conditioning and pressure, we did that before. Engine start switches are off, landing gear is locked, auto brakes are off, flaps are up, and altimeters will be set at 6,000 feet. So there we go, and you can see there we're now up to 250 knots. We've increased our speed a little bit, which is nice. Still not exactly going quickly. And then we'll be up to 5,000 now until Detling, so we'll be here for quite a while at 5,000 once we've climbed there. And I don't think you have to stick to these restrictions, but it's you're generally supposed to. And just in case ATC come online. I mean, if ATC come online, they would actually let you pass the restrictions. I think the idea is if there's no ATC, or if it's busy, you would just stick to them. There we are, climbing out of the UK. I would have preferred, actually, out of Gatwick, I would have preferred to take a different departure. I was initially looking at probably the Minfo 1 mic, which is, I think it used to be the AdMag departure. Again, they refreshed all the SIDs in Gatwick, but for some reason, all the SIDs on SimBrief, where all the routes for Leipzig apparently used the frame departure, so that's what we were using. Because if we were using a Minfo departure, I think it would have shortened our route a bit, but we're taking a bit of a weird route to Leipzig, really. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, if we were taking a star, it would have made our route stupidly long. I didn't understand that at all. All the stars at Leipzig, they're like basically just holding patterns, but I don't understand what the point of that is. There must have been a reason. Again, I don't know. That's the thing with flight simulation sometimes, though, is the real-life procedures are generally built around, they're only really used just to give the pilots an idea of a descent profile, or when it's very congested and the controller just wants to put everyone on the same routing. But if it's quite quiet, like it is in flight sim, or it is just, or the controller just prefers vectoring people, that's what they do. They just get straight in vectors because it saves time and saves fuel. But you can't do that in a flight sim if there's no ATC around. Like today, for example. We won't be having any ATC, I don't think, now, for the rest of the whole flight. Actually, never mind. Bremen radar are online, although Leipzig isn't in their control zone. So I don't think we're going to be getting control from them. Do we pass? No, we don't pass through Bremen radar. We're just south of it the entire time. Oh well. We might pass through Bremen radar for a short bit, I think, while it's... Yeah, we do actually pass through Bremen radar for a very short bit. Between the waypoints, literally just before the waypoint Norta and Admors. In that little gap, we do pass through their airspace. Or they've only been online 7 minutes, so they'll probably still be there when we get there. Also, one thing to note is our flight plan today said that we should start descending to flight level 230 at Norta as like a cruise, for cruise, but obviously we'll already be descending by the time we get to Norta, so we don't need to follow that. Oh, into the cloud. Didn't see that coming. Lots of clouds. And then we're at the cloud again. We'll just grab the weather for Leipzig. We're looking at 190 at 11 knots. So, I don't know why they're using runway 08. Are they still using 08? If they're not using 08, we can change it. We have to change our route to... Okay, they had a plane land half an hour ago. That was the last probably trackable plane that touched down there. And it used... Okay, it looks like they've switched to the 26s then. That's an interesting one. Yeah, okay, so they've switched to the 26s down in Leipzig now. Okay, I I'm going to be doing ILS 26 left then, and we're going to be doing the Kojek 1 Victor. So that's going to be adding a bit of time to our flight. Bit of a shame, isn't it? Right, ILS 26 left then, with the Kojek 1 Victor. That somehow made our flight shorter. No, it didn't. It made it longer. It just had an issue. There you go. But luckily, the thing is, that arrival isn't too bad. It's that is actually an arrival. The other one was basically this arrival, but it looped back on itself, which was silly. And then what we'll do from DP428, I'll end the arrival because there's no restrictions on the whole thing. So we'll go from DP. We'll do that like that, and that gets us then on a pretty good. We can intercept the ILS pretty well then, and that's a good route to have. So there we go. That's cool. Does mean our route's a little bit longer now. And I haven't planned the fuel for that part because I didn't assume we'd be using that runway. We'll see what the weather keeps doing though. So we've got other traffic to watch out for as well. The flight from Tallinn, that's only 600 miles away now from Leipzig. And we'll probably be there earlier than it, but obviously we are stuck here at the moment at 5,000. But we'll be allowed up to 6,000 quite soon, and then from there at Frayne we can go straight up then. So we'll be fine. But obviously the plane from Tallinn is heading at Leipzig from the right direction. Can't believe we had to switch runways there. Typical. Right, and at 6,000 then we'll also go standard pressure. I think once we start the climb from Frayne, I'll set standard pressure. But Frayne's less than 10 miles away now, so not that far to go. We can put this into 40 nautical mile range, so you can see a bit more. Thing is, adding that in now means that at Nauta we're still going to be at cruise level. I'm not going to descend though. No way. I don't even know why it wanted us to descend, because the airway that we're going... Oh, it's the airway T959. So as long as that's what it is. So by the time we reach Admos, we need to be below flight level 230 or very close to it. And you can see we will be descending by Admos, so that's fine. There we go. We're now cleared up to 6,000. You know what, I'm just going to delete the restriction at Frayne just so we can get a straight up climb. Because you can see Frayne's only 4.5 miles away, so it's easier just to do a straight up climb. Might save us a bit of fuel as well. There we go, up we go then. Standard pressure is set. You can see look, 6,000 feet, and we're only 3 miles from Frayne, so we've only been sitting there for 2 or 3 miles. And then we're gonna go direct to Spear, just so we've already passed Frayne. There we go. And that is it then. We are on our route. Again, if we are going to be getting Bremen control, they'll be on 125025, so just in case they decide to contact us later. And we're passing at the moment. Oh, I just accidentally flicked that. I hate on the X-Plane I always do that. I accidentally knock buttons. And I also just accidentally knocked that bank limit. I think that was on 25. Although I don't totally know. There we go, cool. And now finally, well, we probably should have been at like 20,000 feet by now pretty much, but we are now climbing. (10,000 feet, line lights off. But then once we're up to speed, then I'll go ahead and let the passengers roam around. Once we're up to speed, see there's the Mach number rising and our speed rising. And if you look at our overlay, you should see the ETA tumbling, which is what we want to see. Obviously, that overlay is provided that we're going direct to Leipzig, which we're not, but you know. Right, we're up to speed now and climbing, so we'll go ahead and turn off the seatbelt signs now. Let everyone back there roam around. Our ETA is now like 10:06, so it's come back a lot. Although it's still saying, actually no, that's so now we're actually going to be there ahead of the Tallinn flight, and the Tallinn flight is already at cruise basically, so obviously as we speed up, well, that'll just get better. That ETA versus the other plane. And there we are. In the air then, nicely, versus reserve fuel, looking pretty good. There is the plane from the outside, 737-800. So yeah, look, 14 minutes into the flight, we're only just climbing now. It's because of those restrictions in Gatwick. Gatwick's a nice airport though, I really enjoy flying out of it. Leipzig's busy as well, there's a lot of planes heading to it. There's a plane inbound from Copenhagen that'll be getting there very soon. The plane from Tallinn has planned the Luxbo 1 Victor, so I'll have a look at what that's doing. So the Luxbo 1 Victor, okay, it's doing a stupid arrival now. It must be taking, you know, the Luxbo 1 Victor is basically another glorified holding pattern like the one I was planning, but from a different direction. So I'm guessing they're going to not follow that. There's no reason to follow a route like that, it's kind of silly. Just wastes time. So maybe there'll be some ATC by the time I get down there. Germany is quite popular for ATC and things, even at this time of day. I mean, it's actually an hour ahead in Europe as well, so it's about 11 AM down there, so it's a little bit later in the morning, so it's a little bit more popular for. I mean, generally, the later you get in the day until about 10 PM, the busier and busier Vatsim get, and then it starts to get a bit quieter overnight. Whatever, and that's the local time zone of the place you're flying in. Because the controllers tend to control the country they're from. So, although saying that, I mean, I always say this, I love flying in and out of Denver. I do it all the time, quite a bit in the morning, and the one time I'm not over in the US in the morning, Denver has got Tower, Approach, and Center online. Like, seriously. It annoys me sometimes. It's like, really? Like, why? Why does Denver have to be busy now? Like, the only time I'm not there. It's like they do it on purpose. It's just typical, isn't it? Oh well. So if we're flying Denver, we'd get full ATC, and that's really rare. I don't think I've ever had it. I don't think I've ever had ATC in Denver. Even flying in later in the day. Oh well. Right, 80 nautical mile range on here now, because you can see where the waypoints all are. And we're making our way up to cruise altitude now, and we should be in Leipzig way before the plane from Tallinn now. Now that we're getting up to speed, and we'll probably gain another 40 knots as well by the time we get to cruise altitude, and we should get some pretty alright winds as well. Also, the Zebo is struggling to complete this turn. Is that because I adjusted the bank limit? No, I just changed it to slightly more and it didn't make any difference here. The Zebo has had some bugs with that lately, and I thought they'd fixed it. Maybe I think this latest patch bugged a few things out, like the centre of gravity not being calculated, and then obviously the zebra, it's 2 miles off course. That's pretty bad. And it wasn't even a particularly sharp turn. Doesn't give me confidence for later with the, you know, quite sharp turns on the arrival. Hopefully it's okay. I'm struggling to, right now, that plane, that 747 that took off ahead of us, it's somehow got a ground speed of 550 knots at 29,000 feet. That's a little bit, either Microsoft Flight Sim Live Weather is broken, or that plane is far too fast. That's really weird. 540 knots at 31, oh okay, it's 520 knots now at 31,000 feet. That doesn't really sound right, that's a bit too quick, even for their 757. The thing is, I haven't really been near Microsoft Flight Sim now, because it still has those crashing issues, and I think they did fix a lot of them, from what I remember, in the last couple of updates, but to be honest, it's because I went over to X-Plane, and X-Plane was better, let's just say that, a lot better. Now, Eurocontrol West has just come offline, that doesn't affect us at all. Eurocontrol South is online, that doesn't affect us either. So there's no ATC for us. Also, I noticed Scandinavia is very full today. And I looked on Vatsim and there were no events going on. But Norway, Sweden, and Denmark are all full of ATC. And Copenhagen has got full ATC. It's got delivery, ground, tower, approach. But I looked on the Vatsim's new event page and there was nothing. So I don't know what's going on there. It's a bit weird. There's a plane just to the right of us. I don't know who's that. I think it's Ryanair 84 Kilo Alpha, but it's going in a totally different direction to us. So I'm surprised it's still on our TCAS. The altitude matches up, but I said it's heading in a completely different direction, unless it's just changed direction now. Well, it wouldn't have though, because it's going to Milan. Well, it's going to Bergamo, which is... It's Ryanair's idea of Milan. I'm pretty sure it's quite far away from Milan. It's like most of Ryanair's flights. They just drop you somewhere near the city, but it isn't really in the city at all. This plane's a bit quiet. I did install that thing that allows you to change the volume in the sim, but I got rid of it because I didn't really think it did much. Can I change it here in audio features? No. Oh well, we'll just listen to it. It's a bit quiet. It doesn't really matter. I'll turn it up a bit. Aircraft interior. I always turn it down for the A320 because the A320 is quite loud on the inside. It doesn't actually make a difference because even when you mute the aircraft interior, you can still hear sound in the Flight Factory A320. It's pretty weird. Actually, you know what? I'll just turn it back down. Otherwise, I'll forget to turn it up. I'll forget to turn it down next time I do a flight in basically any other plane that isn't the Zebra. Yeah, the Zebra is the only plane that I'd say has reasonable volume. All the others seem to be a bit too loud. Even when you turn, I think it's because they use like external sound things. Alright, we're almost at cruise altitude now. And we're doing very nice speed. That is because of the tailwind we're getting on today's flight. Quite a large tailwind. And then we'll be at cruise altitude. We're only cruising at Mach 0.77 today. That'll be because we're cruising quite low, obviously. So before I selected the star, like after I selected the star, it was saying flight level 370 sim brief, and then suddenly when I got rid of the star to land on runway 08, it suddenly changed its mind to 310. I don't know why, but I did check the wind charts, and the winds are actually better at this altitude, so it doesn't really make much difference. mean, 31,000's a bit low, but it's not that low for cruising altitude. Just because the weather's a bit better there. I mean, see, look at that, 490 knots ground speed. That is quick. We're going quickly. And there we are, 31,000 feet, levelling off. The engines will start to spool down now. And then we're at cruise now for about 38 minutes. I'll keep an eye on the Leipzig weather. It's already changed actually, not much. Clouds and visibility okay, and the winds are 190 or 10, so runway 26 is definitely the preferred runway. And then yeah, we'll see if we get any ATC or anything later on. It would be nice. Obviously, Bremen radar we're going to be passing through, but only for quite a short period of time, maybe about 80 miles, 70 miles, something like that. But it would be nice to pass through them. And then Leipzig, yeah, pass through Bremen's airspace would be nice. And Leipzig, we have no ATC at the moment. The plane from Tallinn is going to be there around about 20 minutes after us, so it's not near us. And the plane from Copenhagen's close to the plane from Copenhagen's pretty close to Leipzig now. There we are. Right, we'll just set the heading round to match there. It's always a good idea to do that. Follow the heading in, in the plane has with the heading bug there, just in case you get vectors or anything like that. Just a good idea to do. And then yeah, we'll be descending somewhere after Norta, probably quite shortly after. And then I've got our arrival with no restrictions on it at all. I think there is a minimum altitude though, I don't know. I'll check the star chart now just to make sure it's okay. Yeah, there's no restrictions at all. And then we'll go on to the ILS then, and we won't be doing the transition that they have. We'll just be jumping on it at DP 447, which is actually 13 DME, so plenty. Yeah, I'd say that's enough, definitely. I mean, the computer I have running this game right now, X-Plane, this one has a 2060 in it, and a Ryzen 7. Ryzen 7's maybe slightly better than an i7, but it depends on the model of i7. And then, yeah, so I'd say that's enough for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. This computer can run it, I would say, probably high settings in like a private plane, maybe like a TBM or something, and then maybe medium settings in an A320 Neo or something. And the game's getting optimised like all the time as well, so it'll probably be better since I've last played it. I haven't played FS 2020 in quite a while. I just sort of gave up on it after the crashing, although I think they've actually fixed that now. I just got into X-Plane. Because for airline flying, X-Plane is still better, but for scenic flying, like VFR flying, Microsoft Flight Sim is the only sim where you can really do it properly. But what I would like to give FS 2020 another go. I know the fly-by-wire A320 Neo's been taking some steps. They're also going to be giving a release date, I think, for their A380 in the coming weeks and months. I don't know exactly how long that's going to be. I've got no clue. They've just said that it's in the works. So I think that'll be interesting. a little right turn. The next waypoint now is 250 miles away, so quite a while away now. And we'll be descending in about 32 minutes. And yeah, hopefully there'll be some ATC along the way. That'd be nice. I'll go ahead and set my heading bug to... Right, I'm just going to go ahead and... I think we'll dim the lights a little bit on the this panel here. I don't know. In the Z-Bolt, I always like... I don't really like the lights to be lit up. I like them to be quite plain, like in real life. Because it's not night time. But then the screens sometimes get a bit dim. Not always. I think it depends on... I think X-Plane's lighting can be a bit weird. I'm sure there's a plug-in for it. I think there's quite a few, like, I think Shade X was one of the things that got brought out. I saw the screenshots of it on the X-Plane Steam page. It looks amazing. I don't know, I mean, some of those add-ons do tend to impact on FPS though, so that's why I haven't really bothered. Right, descending in half an hour. Pretty good. I like these shorter flights, they're alright. Oh, there's the cabin crew calling something. Can never really tell. How do I even answer them? I don't think I can answer them. I think it must just come from the cabin, that. Because there's the cabin call buttons that are there. So they always just say that. Can we go ahead and start service? I don't know how I'm supposed to reply to that. Put the lighting cruise back there. I don't think that'll do anything for the. Then we'll do a level off. Oh, hang on a minute. I think Munich Centre's just come online. Yes. And they're covering Leipzig with an ATIS. We have information Charlie. Expect ILS approach runway 26 left. Okay, cool. We do have... So it looks like we're going to have some ATC then from Munich radar as well. So that'll be cool. Cool. So for that, I'm going to put in the full arrival. Remember, I deleted one waypoint, so I want to put in the full thing now, just to make sure that... that we're getting the proper thing from the ATC. Make sure I'm following the procedure correctly, basically. And then at DP429, I'm going to delete the vector, but obviously we'll probably end up getting a vector anyway. We'll probably end up getting a vector a bit earlier than that, but I'll do that just so the aircraft can calculate proper descents and things. I wouldn't have done that previously, but I have now, because obviously ATC are online, so that means if they wanted to do a certain thing. Yeah, Munich radar's online. I don't know if they're saying anything. They're covering Leipzig. That's actually they're not. They are covering it. So they're covering Leipzig. That's about all they're saying. Bremen radar is covering all the Bremen FIR, that's about it really, so they haven't said much. So yeah, we should have some nice ATC today then. I'm pretty sure we will at some point be in Bremen's airspace, but not for very long. And then we'll be going to Munich's airspace. Maybe we'll get handed off to Munich straight away, I don't know. We'll wait and see what they decide to say. Obviously, you know, I'm just the pilot. I just sit here and wait for a contact me message.
Airport traffic, easy 27 Juliet Zulu, on final runway 36 right.
Looking nice outside though. I'm a nice long our way to Leipzig. Obviously with having ATC, that'll be nice. It means that they're able to kind of just better manage where we are. Munich's very busy. Munich's got full ATC. Are they doing Munich? Is that today? Munich 11 till 11. I'm pretty sure that was yesterday that they were doing that. That's probably why they're online actually, for that Munich event. But I'm very sure that was yesterday though. I can check the Vatsim event page. But I am fairly certain it was yesterday. Oh actually, I was looking at the wrong dates. Lol. I was looking at the wrong dates. So Munich 11 to 11 is today. That was a bit stupid. I was looking. I was assuming I was looking at the week view, and I wasn't. That was a bit silly. Oh, they're running Porto Real Ops today.
Easy 27.
I didn't know that. Although that's only this afternoon. Actually, we couldn't have taken part in that. We couldn't have done that, sadly. That's later today, Porto Real Ops.
All traffic A1110 ready for taxi to Whiskey 10, runway 36 center via Alpha 8, Alpha and Quebec.
But yeah, pretty good. Yeah, it's very busy because Munich 11 to 11 is on. I honestly didn't know that was on. Maybe I should have flown to Munich today. Oh well. I honestly thought that, again, I was checking the wrong dates. And then Copenhagen, there's no explanation as to why that is so busy. It's absolutely packed, full of ATC and everything, but there's really no explanation of why it's so busy. I mean, even if there's no events there today. I'm checking now and it's nothing. Oh, actually no, they've got Good Morning Copenhagen, but it started at 6 AM. What? I should have gone from Copenhagen to Munich today. Oh well. I really should have gone from Copenhagen to Munich. I need to check the events better. I never checked them properly, and then I end up missing out. Never mind. We still had a bit of ATC, didn't we? But yeah, I should have gone from Munich to Copenhagen with like an EasyJet A320 or something. That would have been fun. There's no reason why the rest of Scandinavia is online though. That's not explained. I guess they're just going along with it. But yeah, it's quite a busy Sunday then on Vatsim today, which is nice. I imagine Munich Centre is going to be pretty full with all the planes going in and out of Munich though. FPS has dropped a bit. I'm guessing it's because there's so many clouds in the area. It's gone down to about 30 FPS. I mean, it's still okay, but it's noticeable that it's dropped a little bit. Oh well, doesn't matter, does it? What a bit of turbulence. The goat's moving. Got a nice tailwind though at the moment. Very nice tailwind. And yeah, I think hopefully before our descent we should be getting ATC coverage. Again, I think we enter Bremen's airspace about maybe 40 miles before Norta. So in about 120 miles, roughly. And then we enter Munich's airspace just probably during our descent, although again they might coordinate it slightly differently so that we end up getting just coverage from Munich the whole time or something like that. Also, guys, I will say as well, I haven't done many iRacing videos lately. It's because I went to record a touring car challenge video and that went wrong. So, and I haven't had time to do one at Leipzig Park, sadly. I really want to, but I have done one video. Not a video. I've done one race and it went pretty good at Leipzig Park. But I'm hoping to bring a NASCAR. The NASCAR Carburetor Cup, the unranked one, that's at Monza, so I think there'll be a video on that, because they're only going to Monza once a season, so I really want to take part in that, one race at least. But I'm just having a look at where these street stocks are right now, because I think, yes, they're at Southern National next week. That's my favourite track, so I'm going to be probably doing that quite a bit next week. Although sadly the street stock is now on the odd hour, which doesn't fit me. No, on the even hour. It used to be on the odd hour, it's now on the even hour, so it doesn't fit me nearly as well as it used to. Right, there's a plane actually, I've just noticed, at the same flight level as us. Can't see who it is. Looks like they're heading quite close to us, but I can't really see. There's KLM 11 Bravo, but that's heading in an opposite direction to us. No, it's heading in the same direction as us, and it's also miles away. I don't think it only goes 80 miles, this. What is this? Why can't I keep seeing planes that aren't there? Oh, there you go. I didn't expect a call that soon from ATC, but there we are. 125025, and then we're going to pre-tune Munich then on 12405. And it's Bremen Radar, I think they're called, yes. Bremen Radar, good morning, Skyways 4904, flight level 310.
Skyways 4904, Bremen Radar, hello, identified.
Okay, so we're on...
yeah, sorry about that. On upon 9655,
we're on Bremen Radar now then?
Flight 125, yeah.
Yeah, Roger, you can now monitor Unicom 122 decimal 8, goodbye.
Alright, thanks.
Gravity 0999 Echo, proceed direct Nosku.
So we have some nice ATC now, which is good. Been pretty good with ATC today then, for a Sunday morning, even with no events on. Right, I'm gonna start prepping for the descent now, because it's probably easy to do
Foxtrot.
while
And
while we're not on Munich radar or anything.
Entry north via Foxtrot, Victor 3.
And we're going to be parking in apron 1, that's the terminal.
T Sekunden, nein, Echo climbt leider mit 2 Sekunden.
I don't think we have any specific stands to use. No.
Scandinavian 26 Golf, leaving approved, report back.
We'll go 26 Golf.
Right, and then the arrival we've already checked, that's all good. The ILS now is going to be on 110.3 and 263 on the course, that's good. So we'll just make sure that's preset in now, 110.3, and we'll make sure that that's standby. The course is set to 263, we'll do that now.
Chinese Command 6, we need to disconnect now. Thank you for service, good day.
See you, goodbye.
And airport elevation is 470. So we're going to go with, I think, we'll go with 450. If you round, I don't know if you have to always round up though. We'll go with 450. Transition level, so it's 70.
Aber an 72 Zulu Hotel, Bremen Radar, moin. Foxtrot correct, startup approved, cleared Nizza, Lucas von Quebec departure, flight plan route.
So set that in there.
Via sit 5,000 feet, squawk
And in terms of arrival, it's going to be a flaps 40 arrival. How long is the runway actually? It's 12,000 feet, we'll do a flaps 30 arrival. And the decision height is the last thing we need to set. It is 5, so cat 1, 670.
313 flight level 380 inbound, key kicks.
Yeah, blocked, I heard number 313, Bremen Radar identified.
There we are, so everything's all set up now for the arrival in the airport. We're going to be vacating, hopefully we can make Hotel 5, if not we'll have to go full length on the runway. Depends on what runway they give us as well. It says expect ILS approach runway 26 left, so they're only using 26 left. They're not using 26 right. So there we are, I think it's all set up for the arrival now. We'll be descending in about 15 minutes, just a little bit longer. And then we should be pretty good then to get hopefully vectors or something into the airport. So we have full ATC now into Leipzig. I imagine Munich Centre is going to be very busy though. Munich radar. So who knows? We'll see with that. Because I think with the Munich event going on, it is going to be very busy. Luckily, Munich is actually covered in full ATC plus 2 approach frequencies, so they'll be able to be handed off to them.
Holding point.
But it's still going to be quite busy.
Right via Charlie, Tango, Alpha, and Mike 2.
Taxi to the holding point, runway.
It's nice to have this much ATC though. It's like we're flying, you know, a bit earlier in the day, like a bit later in the day. It's nice. Gatwick's quite quiet now actually, because Heathrow's come online with approaching ground, so everyone's gone there. Only 3 planes on the ground at Gatwick. I guess everyone's in Copenhagen or Munich, aren't they?
Aber 907 Echo Mike, taxi to holding point, runway 07 right, via Echo, Victor 2, Alpha, and Mike 2. What I'll just quick do as well, I'll do a landing performance. So landing runway 26 left. Be flaps 30 arrival. Easy.
Winds 190.
Startup approved. Cleared to
at 10.
Vector departure to Tuvok. Climb on runway.
Temperature is 16.
Right, to altitude 5,000 feet.
QNH 1008. And that's all good. All brakes 2. Landing weight. So our current weight is 61.9. And we're taking 1 off that, so 60.9. It'll be on landing.
Confirmed, runway heading,
And that gives us a VREF out of 5 and
Roger, danke.
line distance available. But I think all brakes 2 is good.
Echo, climb flight of it 310.
And VREF plus 5 is 148, so our landing speed will be 143. At the moment it's obviously 144 because we've still got a bit more weight to burn off first. Okay. So we're all set up for the arrival now then, we just need to wait for... Well, we handed off to Munich radar actually probably in quite a while. Probably either just after our descent or just before our descent, somewhere around there. I'm hoping maybe like Leipzig approach will come online or someone else because it'll be... Probably be a bit easier then to talk to ATC. I have a feeling it's going to be very busy by the time we actually get down to Munich. There'll probably be a lot of people. Well, at the moment we're okay. Right, should actually be descending in about 10 or so minutes, so descent will probably be on this ATC frequency, I think. I don't quite know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it gets played out.
Your Sky is 276, Pin radar moin, identified. Member 313, proceed direct BAFTA.
Direct BAFTA, Member 313.
Bremen, schönen guten Morgen, Lufthansa 2 Papa Mike, out of Bremen, passing 1,500 feet.
Lufthansa 2 Papa Mike, Bremen radar, guten Morgen, identified, climb flight level 100.
Climb flight level 100, Lufthansa 2 Papa Mike.
Bremen radar, good morning, runner 7 kilo with you, currently passing 50230 for 50250 inbound Perron.
Rainer 7 Echo Kilo, Bremen radar, good morning, identified, climb flight level 350.
Climb 50350, 7 kilo, thanks.
Bremen Scandinavian 26 Golf, back in the cockpit.
Roger, welcome back.
It's very busy on this frequency now all of a sudden. It was quite quiet a minute ago. It's because there's loads of planes. Wow. There's loads of planes coming down from Copenhagen, and there's also 6 planes on the ground in Berlin Brandenburg, the new Berlin airport. I need to fly there actually, I haven't been there yet. It's a brand new one. I need to check if X-Plane has scenery for it, but I think it probably will, because X-Plane scenery gets updated quite a bit, so once I and if not, I can probably get some free scenery for it, hopefully.
Passing flight level 336, climbing 360.
Condor 355, Bremen radar, good morning, identified, proceed direct Robeck.
Direct Robeck, Condor 355.
Scandinavian 284 for a top descent.
Last station crossing again, please.
I actually want to see where that Skyway's on the ground in Heathrow went.
Roger, Unicom 122.8, goodbye.
122.8, bye bye, Scandinavian 284.
Lufthansa 3, Romeo Echo,
Never saw it.
Copenhagen Control 126.05.
Skyway's 904, wasn't it? Parked next to us in Gatwick.
Lufthansa 3, Romeo Echo, ciao.
There's a lot of Skyways on.
Contact Copenhagen Control 121.375.
Oh, they're not online now. They must have like disconnected or finished or whatever. There's quite a bit of Skyways. There's a lot of Fly UKs online today, actually. It's nice.
Giant 117, descent flight level 200.
Descent flight level 200, Giant 117.
Have information Charlie still in Leipzig.
Direct Sodro in 240, Lufthansa 2 Papa Mike.
Private Jet 1101, contact München 12405, G. Private Jet 1101, München 12405, G.
12405, tschüss, Contact 1101.
Condor 2 von 2115, are you able for flight level 34, correction 400?
Affirmative, Condor 2115.
Condor 2115, roger, climb flight level 400.
Climbing flight level 400, Condor 2115.
Scandinavian 2657, contact München 124.05.
Right, we're descending in about 9 minutes, 70 miles, so ATC hasn't said anything about our arrival yet. Obviously, I think Munich radar will probably give us that, but I don't know when we're going to be handed off to them.
Kentucky 8751, Green radar, hello, identified. KLM 72 Alpha, Unicom 122.8, goodbye.
Unicom 122.8, bye bye, KLM 72 thanks.
Gravity 0.
Look outside. It's loud outside actually in there. Let's turn down the aircraft exterior sounds, I think. Oh well.
And 0999 Echo, climb flight level 330.
I've done everything for the descent, so that's all ready for later.
Callback shuttle. Trans 180, identified, climb flight level 350. Skypass 9307, contact Copenhagen, control 126, destination.
Thought that was us then, someone else. Some of the controllers always mess up our call sign. Because some controllers don't know the Skyway's call sign, I don't know. Apparently it's not on their list of call signs, but I don't know why, because they're quite a big virtual airline. Although I've only heard one controller say that though. Most of the others know the call sign, so I don't know how all the others know it. Who knows? Also, we're only descending about 110 miles out from the airport, because we're actually quite low at just 31,000 feet, rather than like 37 for example. But somebody thought today 31,000 was the quickest cruising altitude, so that's what we've got. See, there's our top of descent look, so we're actually less than 60 miles from it now, so we'll be descending pretty soon. Hopefully we'll be given our arrival. Obviously we know we're being given ILS 26 left, that's what they're using down there on the ATIS. They've got information Delta now. QNH is now 1009er down in Leipzig, and clouds and visibility okay, which is good, and transition level 70. So yeah, the QNH has just changed to 1009, but no other changes since the last weather report. So it's nice. It's nice that there's no clouds or anything. It's quite clear. It's like on a phone mic or something.
KLM 110, Bremen radar, good morning.
That sounds quite weird.
546.
Actually, we're descending just 45 miles, so not far to go now. Not far at all. But yeah, also, if anyone's wondering why we're operating this flight with the 737, FlyUK does actually now has a couple of 737s based at Gatwick. So there's a couple of flights that they do, which I really like. It's nice that they have that. Right, I think descent will be on Bremen radar.
And Alpine 72 Zulu Hotel, wind 160 degrees 9 knots, runway 07 right, click on direct high ground, flight level 250. Runway 637, call you back shortly, your number 3 for departure. Alpine 907 Echo Mike, your number 2 for departure, line up runway 07 right and wait.
Line up runway 07 right.
There you go, under 40 miles to descent now, so we'll be
Scandinavian 26 Golf,
asking the controller to descend
05, goodbye.
shortly.
124 decimal
get his frequency again, sorry.
124.05.
12405, many thanks, Gatwick 26 Golf, cheers.
Contact 2115, contact München 124.05.
München 12405, Condor 2115. Thank you, goodbye.
I have minute radar
999 Echo,
in
I
there.
have crossing traffic, flight level 350 left to right, expect higher in about 3 to 4 minutes.
Correct, Roger. 999 Echo.
Runner Sonical Kilo requesting 15 to 20 minutes away.
7 Echo Kilo, report back.
Thanks, we'll report back Sonical Kilo.
Bremen radar, German cargo 611 heavy direct Argos. German cargo 611, Bremen radar, hello, identified, climb flight level 350. Flight level 350, German cargo 611. Giant 117,
I
contact
think Skyway
Copenhagen,
755 is going
375.
from Copenhagen to Manchester, might appear on the frequency pretty soon.
Service, goodbye.
So it's nice to see other Skyways in the area.
Bremen radar,
I'll be requesting descent pretty soon actually.
Flight level 370.
Jet time 328, Bremen radar, hello, identified.
Bremen radar, guten Morgen, Lufthansa 46 Delta, flight level 225, descending for flight level 180 in Botak.
Lufthansa 46 Delta, Bremen radar, moin, identified. Direct Delta Bravo 564, descent level 100.
Direct Delta Bravo 564, descent flight level 100, Lufthansa 46 Delta.
Easy.
Oh.
Easy 402 request started pushback.
We're requesting descent pretty soon, probably doing about 10 miles, because I'd like to do it a bit earlier.
Pushback approved,
Especially when the frequency is this busy.
Upper 97 Echo Mike, wind is 16 degrees 9 knots, runway 07 right, clear for takeoff.
So there's no clouds below us now, very clear, which is nice.
Liner 637 behind departing EasyJet Airbus A320, line up runway 07 right and wait behind.
Behind the traffic, depart to line up and wait, runway 67 behind.
Upper 72 Zulu Mike identified, climb via SID, flight level 160.
Climb via SID, flight level 160, Alpine 72 Zulu Hotel, okay.
Bremen radar, Skyways 755, Guten Morgen, with you at flight level 360, inbound Echo Lima.
Right, we're requesting descent now, I think, once he's done with our other Skyways.
Lufthansa 46 Delta, contact Berlin arrival 1264-252.
Berlin arrival 126.
Oh yeah, it should actually get a bit quieter on the frequency actually, because Berlin approach has just come online.
755, Bremen radar, hello, identified. Speedbird 818, Unicom 122.8.
Unicom 122.8, Speedbird 818, thank you, goodbye.
Skyways 494, descent level 170.
Descend level 170, Skyways 494. Okay, just before we were about to request descent, we've been given descent clearance, so that's good. I didn't even have to request it. So we'll start our descent at about 10 miles, so not long.
Stations, Leipzig, 7 Echo Whiskey, contact Berlin arrival 126425, goodbye.
So just 8 miles from descent now.
Liner 637, wind is 16 degrees 9 knots, runway 07 right, cleared for takeoff.
Didn't even have to request descent, so obviously, because we are getting quite close to Leipzig, so that's probably why he's cleared us for descent.
Up on 97 Echo Mike, contact Bremen radar 126425, goodbye.
16425,
Up on 72 Zulu Hotel, climb flight level 280.
Yeah, flight level 280, Alpine 72 Zulu Hotel.
Right, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start the descent now, just so the controller can see that we're descending. Also, just to make sure that we pick up our glide slope in quite a nice kind of, just pick it up slowly kind of way. So you start it off like in an Airbus at about 800 feet per minute, and then when the actual glide slope starts, it'll pick it up fully then. No, not glide slope, once the descent starts. So you can see there, look.
494, you may expedite the descent and contact München 124.05.
Expedite descent, contact München 124.05, Skyways 4904. Bye. Okay, he was saying expedite descent, what he means is because we started our descent really slowly. Obviously now we're going to be picking it up.
Eurowings 2780, what is your Mach number?
That's why he said that.
0.77, so 2780.
Okay, Gatwick 1026, climb level 330. Gatwick 1026, climb flight level 330.
Climbing 330 of Gatwick 1026.
Austrian 752.
Oh, this is going to be a busy frequency now.
Ciao.
So it all breaks to 2 now.
13435.
That's it later then.
752, danke, bis gleich.
München radar, Skyways 494, flight level 290 for flight level 170.
Dallas 494, good morning, you identified. Information is Delta, expect the ILS approach, runway 26 left, fly heading 095.
Information Delta, expect ILS 26 left, fly heading 095, Skyways 494.
Dallas 494, there is no ATC speed restrictions, descend to flight level 80.
No speed restrictions, descend flight level 80, Skyways 494. Okay, so we've been cleared down to flight level 80, and he's basically going to be giving us a heading direct to the ILS. We're getting vectors, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in vertical speed now, and we're going to go speed intervention mode, no not speed intervention, we're going to go this mode here, and we're going to go to about 280 knots. And we should be good. Actually, no, you know what? Can this thing just do...
Expect Landu to cross flight level 130.
I don't think this can do its own descent, can it? So we're going to give him vectors, basically, now, to the ILS. But at the moment, we're pretty much still on our arrival, you can see. So yeah, this is what I was saying, this is why I wasn't going to take a start if we were landing the other runways, because in real life you would just get vectors. Like we are now when there's ATC, which is nice.
Flight level 220, Leipzig, 991.
Right, at the moment, at this descent rate, I think we're going to be slightly too low. Slightly too high, so I'm going to increase it a little bit. Just so we can get there a bit earlier, I think.
453 rate of climb 1000 feet the minute or greater until passing level 340.
Okay, we should be good now if we do this slightly earlier. So do a slightly quicker descent than planned. Because we are taking a slight shortcut, remember, so what the plane is saying isn't necessarily what we want to be doing.
Climb 380 left hand side to Bravo.
I will need a bit of speed brake though if I'm going to be using this, because I think we're slightly high.
Uniform Zulu, climb level 350. Uniform Zulu, climbing 350.
Okay, so the plane now is just able to maintain this slightly slower.
Passing flight level 285 for 350 and direct Sodro.
Going to turn on the seatbelt signs now. Obviously the flight time was supposed to be about an hour and 15 minutes, it'll be more like an hour and 25 because obviously I've changed the runways since that was made, that plan. Hopefully the flight plan will... I'm hoping the flight plan will kind of move along with our route. There you go, it has done that. Just so it can hopefully get a good idea of what our descent profile looks like. Again, we're being given vectors to the ILS. I can kind of see what the controller's doing already. Gonna put up the descent rate a little bit now, just while the plane can do it. You can see it's having to go mostly idle power, even with a bit of speed brake.
Papa Mike, request cockpit exit for about 5 minutes, please. I need a coffee.
There you go. So you can see we're going to be able to make flight level 80 pretty good now. Ideally, at DP424, the plane would have initially had us at flight level 100. Flight level 80 would have come at DP426. So I think flight level 2,500 feet per minute should be good. And we're going to set 1009 in there.
123.9 Alex, and 5 Charlie Foxtrot. Tschüss.
Ciao, Chia 9 Uniform Zulu, Unicorn, schönen Sonntag.
Chia 9 Uniform Zulu, Unicorn, what a bird job.
Rapid 1 of the president.
1101, descend flight level 370.
Descend 370, flight level 110.
I think we can ease off the descent a little bit now.
Actually,
Actually, I won't do that, because I've literally just remembered, obviously at 10,000 feet, we do need to, obviously...
The messenger 789, Roger, squawk mode Charlie.
At this altitude, we need to slow down about 10,000 feet.
Private jet 1101, left 10 degrees.
I'll just let the plane slow down a bit now. If it can.
1101, left 10 degrees.
Munich radar, hello, Lufthansa 2441 with you, flight level 350, inbound
So you see the plane slowing down slowly now.
Lufthansa 2441 identified. Skyways 494, descend flight level 70.
Descend flight level 70, Skyways 494.
Private jet 1101, turn left 10 degrees.
So then he's just cleared us an extra 1,000 feet, doesn't really do a lot, but it's quite good. You can see we've catching it with our descent profile and then gone past it.
Lufthansa 2441, Mach 0.77 or greater.
Mach 0.77 or greater, Lufthansa 2441.
Water 378, good morning, identified, Mach 0.77 or less.
Yeah, we're descending pretty good now.
Private jet 1101, descend flight level 250.
Descend 250, target 101.
Right, passing flight level 140, we're getting a bit lower now to the airport.
Private CSA 1025, good morning, identified.
I'm going to drop the speed now to 240 knots,
Honda still on mode standby.
just to allow the plane to slow.
1 Bremen 125025, please.
Slowly.
125025, stay with Leipzig, no.
Private jet 1101, right.
It's obviously quite busy on this frequency at the moment.
Lufthansa A2 Bravo, turn right 10 degrees.
Right heading, right 10 degrees, Lufthansa to Bravo.
It's nice and clear.
Right turn 10 degrees.
Right turn 10 degrees, Lufthansa to Bravo.
Skyways 494, turn right heading 110, descend to 3,000 feet. The QNH is 1009.
Right heading 110, descend 3,000 feet, QNH 1009, Skyways 494.
Cut jet 1026, Wien 134.
So we're going a bit of a turn now, and then we're going to keep descending basically. And obviously he's giving us
the...
So he's giving us, basically he's giving us vectors into the airport.
134.
And I want to make sure we can descend properly, although the aircraft wants us to be at flight level 105 at DP424. So I think this descent should be no problem. I'm just going to actually probably calm it a bit now. Line lights can come on. And the speed brakes are out all the way. They can go in flight, so I'm having trouble slow this thing down a bit more, so we're going to have to push back the descent a bit in order to slow ourselves down successfully, which the plane's doing now. And then what I'll do, I'll put in flaps 2, and then that will allow us to descend. That will allow us to slow down a bit.
Lufthansa, I'm sorry, Lufthansa 4 kilo Mike, Unicron, bis dann.
There we go, so we've slowed down now, and then we're continuing our descent. We'll do about 1,800 feet per minute.
Proceed direct to Tulsi.
Direct Tulsi, CSA 1025.
Lufthansa, sorry,
There we go, so we're now good.
Bravo, direct to inbox.
Direct inbox, Lufthansa to Bravo.
Right, yeah, I think this descent rate should be pretty good. I think partially that descent was slightly too quick, maybe. I don't know. It's always better to be slightly too low than slightly too high. Obviously, it gives us time to slow down later on then as well. That's the thing.
Lufthansa 2 Papa Mike, proceed direct Armut.
And see, that's saying we're going to reach 3,000 by about there. Obviously, I haven't set the QNH yet either. That'll drop us about 200 feet probably.
Lufthansa 2 Papa Mike is back in cockpit.
He's probably going to maybe get us to follow this. I'm not totally sure. or something like that.
Danke und Direct Armut, Lufthansa 2
See what
Papa
he's
Mike.
planning exactly.
München, moin moin. Euroskies 276, flight level 360.
Alright, we'll go ahead and set standard pressure now.
Direct Weser, Euroskies.
No, not standard, like the local
2657,
pressure.
level 150. Private jet 1101, descent level 110.
It's nice it's a clear day though. Pretty calm. I mean, it's going to be 10 knots, so it's not that calm. The wind is a little bit interesting. But it's only 10 knots though. But it is a slight crosswind.
47, what will be your Mach number at level 290?
Decimal 740, Roger 47.
Okay. Zero jet 47, proceed direct Landu.
Direct to land, Roger 47.
Okay.
Right, we're going to go ahead and activate the ILS frequency for Leipzig. You can see it's come up on there as an ILS frequency.
2441 requesting Lula to Charlie arrival.
2441, das wird höchstwahrscheinlich die Landu 08 Transition werden.
I think it's going to give us a right turn when we cross the bank here, that little bit.
Lufthansa 2441.
I think it's going to give us a right turn to intercept the ILS.
Echo, turn left 10 degrees, climb level 360.
Left 10 degrees.
There is a 777 currently on the ground in Leipzig, but nothing else.
789 identified. Maintain level 350.
Maintain 350, sorry.
Right, let's slow our vertical speed a bit more now.
Rate of descent.
Gonna go down to 220 knots now, just to allow us to get some. Just slow down now.
494, turn right heading 170.
Right heading 170, Skyways 4904.
Really good morning.
Oh, he's giving us a turn already. I didn't expect a turn so soon. Actually, it's okay, yeah. That's fine. We'll go 210 knots. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go direct to DP4. We're going to direct to tackle.
Direct to Geska, Golf Alpha Sierra Kilo Alpha, KLM 1060.
Blue Messenger 789.
Just so the plane has an idea of vertical profile and things. And so I can see that we're still quite far out from the airport, so we're okay on that.
Good morning, Tom Jet 324.
We'll go 200 knots. I'm going to go flaps 10. That's as far as we'll be allowed to go now.
Lufthansa 583 passing 1, flight level 130.
There we go, we're good then. Let's go ahead and arm the speed brakes.
Fly heading 360, climb level 320.
Heading 360,
There we go, we've reached 3,000 feet, a tiny bit early, but that's no problem. We're probably going to be given a right turn now at some point to intercept the ILS on.
5 Echo Echo, proceed direct to N-box.
Direct to N-box, Lufthansa 500.
Scandinavian 26 Golf, descent level 170.
Descent 170, Scandinavian 26 Golf.
Honda 2115, descent level 150 with given rate.
Descending flight level 150 with 2,000 feet per minute or greater.
Okay,
Right,
we should be given a right turn pretty soon now. I'd expect. And that, to intercept the ILS on.
Decimal 79 Lufthansa 2 Papa Mike.
Proceed direct Delta.
We've got the ILS there, ILSL. That's the Leipzig one.
Direct Delta Mike 431 Lufthansa 2 Papa Mike.
Skyways 494, turn right heading 220, clear the ILS runway 26 left.
Right heading 220, cleared the ILS 26 left, Skyways 4904. Right, on the approach then. You can see there's the localizer, the plane has it. Drop our speed to about 185 knots now. And the engines are going to continuous. And 3 brakes are armed, all brakes set. And then the other stuff will be the flaps then. Make sure that they're set once we've slowed down and the gear down. That'll be a bit later. There's our airport. There's the runway.
München, Lufthansa 6, Charlie Alpha, inbound. Zulus climbing 310, requesting 350, please.
The 6 Charlie Alpha, guten Morgen, identified. Direct Oscar Kilo Golf, climb flight level 350.
Right, slow down to 180 knots now. Plane is established. Goal on altitude is 5,000 feet.
Descent 110, Scandinavian 26 Golf.
Right, 160 knots now.
103 Tango Papa identified. Fly heading 360, climb flight level 300.
Fly heading 360 and 300.
Right, on the glide slope. 7 miles out.
Scandinavian 2657, rate of descent 2,000 feet per minute.
He didn't say to report established, so I don't think we need to do that. Right, gear down.
Maybe 2657, rate of descent 2,000 feet per minute operator.
We'll go flaps 15.
UPS 610, descent level 250.
There we go, gears down.
Blue Messenger 789, München.
And then
to which level?
143 plus 5 for the approach. 148 is our final approach speed.
Anyway, you live in my airspace now. Next time, please follow the HSV instructions. Switch to Unicom.
Thank you.
There we go, we're all good then, ready. We just need to wait for landing clearance now.
Lufthansa 583, proceed direct M-box.
Direct Ango, Lufthansa 583.
Negative, the waypoint is M-box. M, Echo, Mike, Bravo, or Oscar, X-ray, M-box.
Direct Echo, Mike, Bravo, Oscar, X-ray, Lufthansa.
Right.
Lufthansa 453, Bremen 125025.
He's not been clearance to land. So I don't know what's going on. Take manual control of the aircraft now.
Dallas 494, clear to land, 26 left, 190 degrees, 10 knots.
Runway 26 left, clear to land, Skyways 494.
Been a good day, Ryanair 7 Echo Kilo with you currently flight 03.
Cool, right, take manual throttle then.
Ryanair 7 Echo Kilo, you identified. Proceed direct Landu.
So manual throttle and...
Direct...
Actually, we'll keep the auto throttle armed just in case, obviously.
7 Echo Kilo, direct to Landu.
We've taken manual throttle.
Oh, yep, direct Landu, Ryanair 7 Echo Kilo, thank you.
UPS 610, descent level 170.
Oh, we're a little bit high, so we're just going to go ahead and fix that.
Good morning.
There's the passenger terminal off to the right, so we'll try and make an exit to that first exit on the right, though, will probably be quite difficult to make.
Lufthansa 5 November Victor, good morning, squad 2365.
Well, I'll try and get a good landing in this plane. I'm not always the best at landing it, but I'll try.
Scandinavian 2657, contact München 123.9. Lufthansa 452, München 1239. Lufthansa 5 November Victor, you identified. Proceed direct to Rotax.
Okay, we're good now.
Flight level 370.
Direct to Rotax 370. Lufthansa 5 November Victor.
Minimums.
There's minimums, continue.
Level 330.
We're a tiny bit high, I think, but we're okay.
Private jet 1101, München on 1239.
129, private 101, please.
Charles, Scandinavian 2612, speed 2809.
What was that? I didn't have OBS open as the active window, so we'll have to wait and see it on the replay. Reverse is out.
Fly heading 360, climb level 10.
80 knots.
Reverse is in. I didn't see actually. Oh, minus 232. I saw it on my phone.
2441, descent level 270.
Right, we have to taxi runway full length here actually, because of how we just missed Hotel 5.
Bravo, Bremen 125025.
125.025, Lufthansa 12.
Right, disarm the auto brakes.
Skyways 494, make a right. You can vacate at the end via Sierra. So you can vacate at the end to the right via Hotel 1. Taxi then via Hotel 1 and November Kilo.
Vacate at the end of the runway via Hotel 1 November, Skyways 494.
Alpine 32 Papa Mike, switch to Unicron.
Okay, so we've been told to go to the end of the runway. Right, disarm the spoilers. Flaps retracted.
180, good morning, expect ILS 26 left.
And we'll go ahead and slow the plane a little bit.
So Eurotrans 180, descent flight level 100.
There we are. Hello and welcome everyone to Leipzig. Started the APU. Yeah, minus 230 is pretty good for me in the Zebo. Definitely.
Speedbird 79 Delta clearances to Amsterdam out of runway 26 left. Odd Loon 5 Sierra departure. Climb flight level 70, squad 1000.
Copy that, runway 26 left.
Then go with vacated.
Unclimb, flight level 70, squawk 1000.
Flight time 1 hour 22 minutes, so pretty good.
Correct. The pushback is approved, face to the east. Speedbird 79 Alpha, read correct. Pushback approved, face to the east.
Copy that, pushback approved and face to the east.
There we go.
Speedbird 79 Alpha.
UPS 610, descent to flag level.
Don't know what runway we're going to be given. No, not what gate we're going to be given. He just said taxi November,
Charlie Alpha, climb level 370.
which is I guess it's freestand, maybe.
Condor 3 Tango Papa, proceed direct Milgu.
There we go. We're here. Everything's all finished. Taxi lights can come on. Actually, everything else is all set up. Oh yeah, engine stop switches into off position, and that's it.
Lufthansa 2 Papa Lima Unicorn, Sonntag, tschüss.
Lufthansa 2 Papa Lima Unicorn, bis Sonntag.
CSA 1025, direct Olpix, descent level 250 to reach at Olpix.
Direct Olpix.
There we go. That was a pretty good landing. I'm pretty pleased with that. So I'm not always the best at landing the Zebo. That speedbird there is pushing back. So if I can end up in a stand
Flight level 250,
for
Lufthansa 2 Papa Mike.
that would be good. Ideally, I think I'd like stand maybe 128 or 126. 126 probably.
Mike November, flight level 175, climbing 190.
Condor 2115.
Or we could also go for 116 or 118, like a remote stand.
Condor 2115, call München on 1239.
See what this guy's doing.
79 Mike November, allow you identify, climb level 310.
Climb 310 is the 79, Mike November.
Because this guy's been given push clearance, or he's not moving at the moment.
1239, Scandinavian 26 Golf, choose.
Choose FedEx 29 Lima, proceed direct.
I thought this guy was given push clearance, but he isn't moving. So
Lufthansa 2441, descent flight level 150.
I don't know whether we're clear
Descending
or
flight
not.
level 150.
I haven't been told anything else. I was just told to taxi down in November.
Direct Delta Papa 427, descent to flight level
We can take these stands. These are remote stands. So we could take one of these.
3246, monitor unit.
I'm just going to take stand 114 to make sure we don't get in the way of this speedbird.
Condor 2115, go ahead.
Contact München 1239.
München 1239, Condor 2115.
So I would have wanted a gate, but I was like, to go past that easy jet that I thought maybe would have been in the way. Line light can come off. No, not my taxi light can come off now. And there we are. Let's go ahead and get ourselves up to the gate. And maybe I would have wanted to go for a gate, but I didn't want to get in the way of that speedbird. Went a bit further than I would have wanted there, because the brakes on the Zebo don't actually stop it. They only get it down to about 2 knots, and then it just keeps rolling. Right, engines off. Go ahead and get the ground handling up.
Flight level 110, Lufthansa 2 Papa Mike.
Condor 2115, say again the frequency, please.
It's 123.9.
Get them all to drive up.
123.9, Condor 2115, thank you.
Other engine off.
Mention radar, good day, lot 902 Sierra with you, 20 miles outbound Romeo Tango.
Right, this can go on ground services.
For approach because
Chocks are set. We won't disconnect the parking brake because otherwise the ground crew will disappear.
Just to confirm, you would like to go to Munich?
Connect GPU as well.
Confirm, go to Munich, lot 902 Sierra.
Engine bleeds can come off. Packs can come off. Propedes can come off.
310, squawk 1000, lot 902 Sierra.
Well, the engines are still spooling down.
Afternoon, German cargo 611 heavy.
German cargo 611, hello, pass a message.
Let me just enter your...
Okay, all the ground crew is parked up. We'll just wait. Yeah, no problem. Hope everyone enjoyed the stream.
Maintain radar, good morning, Express 1060, sending flight level 200.
That speedbird still isn't pushing back, so who knows.
Runway 26 left, World Express 106.
UPS 610, München 123.
Right, there we go. Ground power on. APU off.
Walker 378,
And
descent level 270.
beacon light can come off.
270 for Walker 378.
Open all our doors.
Sierra, please confirm heading for us.
Passing for level 300 with you.
And seatbelt signs off. There we go, everyone's free to roam around the cabin.
Negative 310.
310, right to Sierra, thank you very much.
China Eastern 116, you identified, descent flight level 13.
There we are. Hello, welcome everyone to Leipzig. It's very busy here on this frequency. I was probably going to say thanks for ATC and I'm parked at the stand to the controller, but I do not want to, don't really want to clutter up the frequency because it's so busy, so I'm just going to leave that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves disconnected from the network. There we are, and quickly I'm just going to make the plane go cold and dark because that's how I want it to be saved next time we load into the Zebo. Right. And that's how I want it next time I load into the Zebo. I want it just like everything off, everything cold and dark. And hopefully it will save. So what I want to do now, I want to make sure the chimes are off. Emergency exit lights are off. Let's go ahead and hide the ground crew. Just have the chocks. All the doors closed. And then, yeah, we'll set it up cold and dark like this. And the battery off like that. So everything now pretty much is off. That's how we want it. With no chock. Actually, we'll have chocks, obviously, otherwise the plane would just be, wouldn't have anything to hold it in place. So that should be good now. So hopefully, I think this aircraft is now fully cold and dark. I'll have a quick check. I think everything's all cold and dark now. Yep. We're all good. Everything's cold and dark, so that means I can go ahead and go to configuration, and I want to reset all of these. And then we want to save preset 1, save preset 1, save cold and dark, save as preset 1 as well. And then quick save all configs, and hopefully that will have now saved everything that's currently here. And I also want to make sure if I go to general config, the engine no run, that says cold and dark. And then I want to make sure this says kilograms and that says HPA, because it's reset everything. And these say captain. There. Okay, hopefully now then, everything will be all good. And everything should be saved. So next time I load into the Zebo, it should be cold and dark. Hopefully. So there we go. That's all that done. Hope everyone enjoyed this flight today. It's pretty good fun. Lots of ATC, even though I wasn't taking part in an event. Maybe it would have been nice to do that. Although, obviously, I do prefer on Vatsim to take advantage of events being on, but not to fly in the main airports. Because with Vatsim, there's never events. There's almost never enough controllers for the amount of pilots. And the frequencies end up getting really blocked up. So it's kind of nice to have it. But I like because obviously we took the ATC from the event, but we didn't fly into the main airports. So that was pretty good. Maybe if we'd flown from one of the event airports, maybe. Like, event airports aren't so bad when you're taking off. It's when you're landing that it gets really cluttered. Like, go-arounds and stuff, because it was too busy, people going too quickly, whatever. But I hope everyone enjoyed that anyway. And I hope to see you again in the next stream. I'll leave you with the background music and the end screen. Bye-bye!